Road Rash and Road Rash 2 on the Sega Genesis were major successes, both critically and commercially. 3 years after the sequel, Road Rash 3 would see release for the Genesis in a hope to continue on this success and make Road Rash one of the strongest franchises of the 90s. This third installment follows the formula of the previous two. You enter races of 5 different tracks per level, with the goal of getting a top qualifying finish in all 5 tracks before advancing to the next level, and there are 5 levels altogether. The higher you finish, the more cash you earn, which allows you to make purchases not only on bikes, but this time with other upgrades as well, such as tires or suspension. Once again, you get weapons like clubs, chains, and cattle prods that you can acquire by grabbing them off other riders. But this time you'll actually be able to bring these weapons into the next race instead of just leaving it behind. And you can carry multiple weapons and toggle between which one you want to arm yourself with in real time. As far as the tracks go, now you're traveling all over the world. So you'll ride in places like Brazil, Germany, and the UK. And like in previous games, you'll be able to select the tracks in any order you choose, including racing on tracks you've already qualified on. Once again, beside the other riders and cars, the other main hazards are the popo. Police are not just stationed on motorcycles this time, you've also got cops and helicopters who try to swoop down and hit you so that the nearby bike cops will catch you. So keep in mind that when you see these helicopters, that means there are bike police nearby. After getting captured, or if your bike gets wrecked, you have to pay a fine. And if you're unable to afford to pay the police, then you have the option to continue, but you'll be used as an insider to take down other racers that are wanted, which always makes me feel like a fucking rat. Visually, the game looks more realistic as far as the characters go, but I've always felt that these digitized style sprites don't really animate too smoothly and they look out of place on top of drawn backgrounds. Just like in Road Rash 2, you get a 2-player mode as well, either alternating or in split screen, with the option of doing the full races or one-on-one in the split screen mode. The soundtrack is definitely different this time. Rather than the hard rock sound from the first 2 games, this time you get music that's appropriate for the specific country that you're in. Although they do incorporate a rock element to many of these songs, they still don't have that gritty dirge sound from the old games. These songs are a lot more bright and lively. Personally, I think the first game soundtrack is the best by far. Road Rash 3 offers a nice addition or two from its predecessors, but this was also the same year that the next-gen version would come out on PS1, so unless you weren't planning on buying that console, or if you didn't have either of the first 2 games, or if you just plain wanted to collect them all, then there wasn't a lot of reason to buy Road Rash 3 at the time. But judging it on its own merits, it's still a solid game.